Hello, everybody. Welcome back to vidIQ, where today we are taking a look at your YouTube channels. Yes, we are going to be live for the next 2 hours looking at, oh my gosh, your YouTube channels with loud intro music. We're going to continue to play loud intro music randomly throughout this stream. So if you're wearing headphones, maybe you should not do that. Anyway, Rob's here. Hey, loud intro music. We're going to continue to play loud intro music randomly throughout this stream.
Throw me off.
So
I need to fix that.
It's going so well. If this is your first time here, this is totally normal. Let me know. I'm going to fill out a poll right now. Here, let's see. Start a poll. Is this your first vidIQ live stream? Please say no, unless it is your first vidIQ live stream. We appreciate it. And then just sit back and relax, because we're going to tell you how it works in just a moment. Rob's back.
I'm back. Okay, apologies, folks. What I did there was I loaded up the live stream on a tab, and then it started playing, and obviously I've got all my sound effects feeding through one place, so it was a bit of a judgment error there, but I'm good now. I'm ready to go. All thumbs up. How you doing, Dan? Everybody, welcome.
I'm great. This is going to be a good one, I think. Oh, well, he doesn't know that now because he took off his headphones. I said this is going to be a good one, I think.
Oh, isn't it just?
Yes. We're going to look at your channels. We're going to have some pre-selected. We're going to pick some randomly. We'll tell you how all that works in just a little bit. How's our poll doing? It looks like you said no. 64% of you so far are saying no, this is not your first vidIQ live stream. That number will surely shift as we continue today. Few things to say. I always forget the pre-stream announcements here. First of all, we are doing super chats like the one we just got in. Well, that's a membership renewal. We will not be reviewing channels based on super chats. So please do not send us a super chat asking for a channel review, because we cannot refund it, and also we're not going to review your channel. So super chats, I'm going to type this out. Super chats will not buy you a channel review. Just FYI, and then I can pin that, and that's just a lesson in pinned comments for you. Anything else I'm missing, Rob, before we give them the intro?
I would say that if you want to get in on some awesome vidIQ action this week, then there is a critical link at the very top of the description and live stream we should probably check out now to prepare your channel for what is to come. But other than that, Dan, I think we can press a button for the usual how does all this stuff work intro video. Welcome back, creator. Here we go again. This is your weekly YouTube channel audit live stream. All you need to do is use the correct link in the description, fill out the form, and we'll consider your channel for review. That's right, channel reviews are free, but you can send us a super chat and watch us discuss your question live on air. You can get a channel audit anytime you want by downloading vidIQ and asking our AI coach to give you one. Or take your channel to the next level with one-on-one coaching for your channel from a human coach here at vidIQ. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We will share with you our knowledge, experience, and passion as fellow YouTube creators. I want to do a quick shout out to all of our moderators who do an awesome job on the live stream every single week. You know who you are. And with the introductions done, it's over to you. What channels have you brought us this week?
All right. Now, as a reminder, please subscribe, because yes, we are trying to pass Ford Motor Company in subscribers. They are currently at 2.39 subscribers, or 2.39 million subscribers, rather. And we're not. Rob, how much are we at right now?
It is awesome now to see that our community is jumping on board with this theme of like, will we surpass the Ford Motor Company? So, of course, I will give you an update, which is preceded by, because this is very important, and it's also to test whether my camera is going to work. Oh, no, it's broken. Great, look at that. So that's me just paused, staring blankly at the screen. But we are now at 1,843,572.
Huh.
I don't know what else to tell you, so I'll come back to the camera that's actually working.
Yeah, so please subscribe.
Please subscribe, because this is like a well-oiled YouTube channel today.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna make a car pun, but you didn't. You took a
Nah, not today.
left turn there on me. Okay, so yes, that's what we're trying to do. And that really threw me off. Let's look at our first channel, shall we? We're actually going to review some real channels now. And yes, I did just imply Ford Motor Company is not a real channel. John's Attic. 87 subscribers, 21 videos.
Hey, John.
And they do video essays. That's what they said on the forum. And hey, as promised, we have 8 videos, all very video essay-y, from what I can tell.
Yep.
Rob, initial thoughts?
So, is that to confirm they are a month into their YouTube journey at this point? Is that right? These are
About a
all
month,
of
maybe 2
videos on the channel, right? And how many shorts have they done as well, just to get a broad scope of what's going on here? Maybe, 10 shorts there. And the shorts do seem to be following along the, I guess, movie critique style. You can't really call them video essays if they are shorts. But it's good to see that they're practicing both long form and short form content to begin their channel. There is, I can see here down, one outlier. And what we mean by outlier is, can you see that number that says 42x? That is one of the simplest, best tools you can have at your disposal if you download the vidIQ Chrome browser extension, because it's available on Chrome and Firefox. And it's telling us that this video is performing 42 times better than anything else on the channel. And it is about Doctor Who. So just from purely a channel focus point of view, you've been experimenting with movies, Matrix, Pirates of the Caribbean, Titanic. You've hit some sort of gold with Doctor Who. And as far as I'm aware, I'm not a Doctor Who fan myself, but I know that the new series, I think, is just hitting the airwaves.
Friday.
It might be a good idea to lean into that topic for the next couple of weeks. I can see you've done that with your next video, which hasn't done too great yet. Maybe it was you went too much into the topic with this follow-up. Dark Water and Death in Heaven are the perfect episodes, and here's why. You're talking about 2 very specific Doctor Who episodes, whereas the previous one had a much larger, like maybe total addressable market, like very broad questions about Doctor Who. And I think maybe a nice follow-up would have been something along the lines of, here's what to come with a new Doctor in a new series. That might have been a bit more approachable as a topic. So there's encouraging signs here, Dan. The fact that they've got a video with 4,000 views in the first month from the 10 videos that they've experimented with shows that they can find an audience and satisfy that audience.
Yeah, I think so too. I am a fan of Doctor Who, and I would say that even like the fans of the show, from what I can tell, like when the show makes mistakes, they're not shy about calling it out. And I think everybody has their favorite and least favorite seasons and moments from the show. So with the new series upon us on Friday, I think you could lean into this topic a bit more. And as Rob said, I think this was too specific. And I think I was going to say for this video, part of it to me feels like they said the 2 episodes in the title, and it made it so if anyone disagrees or agrees, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, whatever, and they don't click on it. If you had kind of put those episodes behind a veil, like these are the 2 most important episodes and here's why, that might have built up a little more curiosity. But I would say that the thing I'm really curious about is how are the new series going to be perceived? Like we saw the specials, a lot of people seem to like them, but is this new style that's now coming to the show something that's really going to pay off? And I think that's an interesting discussion, and I think that's probably something that I'm not seeing a lot of. When I watch some Doctor Who fan made content, and I'm not seeing a lot of people address that specific thing, where they're not cautiously optimistic or anything like that. They're just pretty much like, yep, this is gonna be the best thing ever, and that's it. So maybe you could bring kind of some like other alternative opinions there if you have them, where it's like, how is it going to go? What mistakes, what pitfalls could the show fall into? And you could kind of theorize in directions it could go where the fan base might turn on it again. Like there's so many different, it's such a long running show and there's so much hype and drama around it. Like you could probably do a bunch of different essays from different perspectives on this. So that's just to give you some Doctor Who inspiration. And this is a good time to be doing that. And I think that this video is that perfect, like you said, Rob, total addressable market, massive. Timing, perfect. Like you could probably continue down the thread. But the other things they've done, Pirates of the Caribbean, Matrix, things like that, that's pretty cool too. But what's also really interested me is the shipwrecks. They have 2 videos about shipwrecks. So their interests aren't just movies and TV. They kind of like they want to do video essays about the things that just genuinely interest them. Whether it's different forms of media or like actual events. I assume these are more actual events rather than TV.
Yeah, rather than tied to the movie Titanic or programs about shipwrecks.
Yeah. So that's another thing where I'm like, yeah, because you're looking perplexed, and I'm a little bit perplexed by that too. Are these a good fit for the channel now that you're kind of like seeing some success here? And I don't know. And then the other thing I would say is if you're gonna do video essays, you have the license to make them much longer. And I think 4 minutes on a video essay channel is a very short video.
Yeah.
This seems like second channel stuff. Like a lot of video essay channels have a second channel where they talk about smaller topics and maybe the videos aren't as long or scripted as much, for example.
Thumbnail wise, I think the channel is again a decent standard for where they are on their YouTube journey. 9,000 people died. What? Sorry, I got distracted by. I mean, that's a good kind of eye-catching title. All right, must have been like a troop ship or something. But anyway, as you said, Dan, that's shipwrecks, sinking of ships, and movie essays. Like when you try and put the Venn diagram together there, that is quite a big stretch. It feels like very much a second channel. But anyway, I was saying thumbnails are of a decent standard already, so I don't really feel as if you have to massively change them. Like I'd say, keep iterating on the masterpiece one, the Doctor Who one, that because there's you've used color quite interestingly there, whereby the current Doctor it's like color filled in with color, where the others are kind of all cast into a what would you call this?
Ghostly blue.
Ghostly blue color, yeah, which is interesting. I'd see that's a good thumbnail to iterate on. I guess the question the creator might be saying is, yeah, but if I lean into Doctor Who for the next 10 weeks, I become a Doctor Who channel. Yep. And there is the danger of that. But you will be building an audience and getting a great connection going with YouTube. So it's kind of that internal challenging question to ask there.
Yeah.
But other than that, Dan, I just want to ask, and I want to ask the entire audience here, anybody who is a Doctor Who fan, does your Doctor Who fandom start with Christopher Eccleston's Doctor and then move forward from there? Or do you go back to the very old BBC Doctor Who's back in the 80s and 70s? Because there's thousands of episodes of Doctor Who, but like of the most recent ones, I think that lineage starts in like, I think it's 2005.
Yep, that was it. That's when I started. I didn't start watching in 2005. I found out about the show at the 50th anniversary. Like a bunch of people I knew were watching, and I'm like, I keep hearing about the show, and I went back, and it was on Netflix at the time, and that's when I started watching.
Yeah,
and I caught up, like almost to the point where the 50th anniversary had come out recently. I finally like caught up. I binged it. But yeah, that's when my fandom kind of started for it. I did go back and watch a little bit of the old stuff. It's slow. It's like old TV.
It's a bit cheesy, isn't it?
It's cheesy. Like I'm talking like aliens, and like to make aliens, they spray painted bubble wrap green and like wrapped it around the actors, like, and gave them rubber claws. Hilarious, just hilarious, but very slow storytelling back then. They took their time. They're like, we have all this film. What do we do? And they just let it roll. But yeah, never watched an episode. That's fair. Paul McGann. Wow. You saw that weird movie that they made.
Yeah, I think that was the transition from old to new. There was the movie, and then it kind of died for a few years.
Yeah.
Tom Baker is another one. Yeah.
Yep. I've seen a handful of those episodes. So we'll move on, but that was just interesting. Flowers is the first gaming channel that submitted on the form this week. And they have 250 subscribers. They're a dad who loves to game and drink coffee. They did #variety gaming in their about section. So you will see that as you scroll down. There are a variety of games here. We have Pal World and Lethal Company and Outlast, just so all kinds of different things. And one thing that I noticed here, a bit of an outlier that like is the latest video.
Yeah.
Spider-Man N64 was pure nostalgia. 928 views.
Can we just click on that to see what the engagement was like? 27 likes, 16 comments. So it looks like it was genuine engagement there.
It took a turn. So it looks like they are literally playing the N64 one. They kind of did a fun little intro there. 34 minutes. Now, what I love about this video, and I think if you're going to be a variety gaming channel, this is like a really good example. I'll just mute the video and let it play for a minute. What I love about this video is that you took a very popular game and revisited it in a modern era. And what that tends to do is get people, like, you have nostalgia in the title, it gets people nostalgic. And they're like, I remember playing that game.
Yeah.
Or alternatively, I didn't know they had a Spider-Man for N64. And they're playing the PlayStation version right now. And they're like, what was the game like back then? So it's one or two. It's one of two things.
Let's pause it there, Dan.
Let's just go ahead and go ahead. It's one of two things. And I think that's why this video is performing well. I think for this channel, this becomes like one of their like all-star knockout success videos. And I'm saying that because it's just it almost plays like a video essay with the title, and then you're playing through it, you're giving your opinions. I think all that's working really well. What I'm seeing before that was you kind of playing games, especially these three right here, in an episodic style. Very, very long videos. Probably not a ton of editing in these. They almost probably play like live streams.
Yeah.
And they don't have like a lot of views, you know? And I hope this creator is seeing them break their own trend of sub 100 view counts and thinking to themselves, I've hit something here. Now, a quiz for everybody. What is this channel now? If they were to continue to go down this path, is it an N64 only channel? Is it a Spider-Man only channel? Is it I thought I had a third one, but kind of those two big things, right? You could cover Spider-Man games going forward. You could just cover N64 games, or is it nostalgic kind of like games and things like that? And I'm going to say it's the latter. I think it is nostalgia. I think it is games you've definitely heard of that you have not thought about in a long time. And this creator grabs them and revisits them on their channel, allowing them to do what? Be a variety gaming channel without boxing themselves into, well, I got this new game and I better play it on my channel for like 3 or 4 episodes before I get tired of not getting enough views from that. That's my take. I think this video speaks volumes about what this channel could become if they continue down that path.
I, Dan, agree with your take to the point where the next video I will probably do on this channel will be blank was pure nostalgia. Like, I probably wouldn't do much more to the packaging. I guess the critical question here is, what game do they play next? So imagine like all of these people are reminiscing about Spider-Man on the N64. So like after you'd enjoyed playing Spider-Man on the N64, what did you play next that fit like a similar kind of nostalgic period and type of game that you enjoy playing?
Yeah.
Whether that's on the PlayStation or maybe the Dreamcast. I think there's even maybe, Sega Saturn's a bit too niche because no one bought it. But yeah, and again, like a half an hour length of video. I would be curious to know, Dan, if they can recreate this success. And the success might be like 300 views or 250 views or 400 views, like something that's of a significant improvement on all of the previous stuff, which was multiple hours, videos, less than 100 views. And I think if it's successful, then you're right. I think they've got this new kind of pivot, which is nostalgic gaming from the previous generation, like anything 2000 or earlier in terms of video games. Like 1995 to 2000, that could be like their sweet spot. Just start experimenting with different games. And the thumbnails are very simple.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would change them at the moment. It kind of just seems like box art type of stuff or loading screens.
Yeah.
If you saw by most popular, do we just want to check for any other? So yeah, that is the clear outlier on this channel.
Yep. This is the direction I want them to consider going forward. And I want, like what you just said a little bit ago really hit me too. It's what games have you played? What other games have you played back in the day? And one thing you could do is try and find some of this information is available. Sometimes it's not, but try and find the sales numbers of those games so you can gauge how popular it was back in the day. Like if you're questioning, like, I played this game a lot, but did other people? Try to find some data on that. Try and see, oh, wow, it sold millions and millions of copies. Or, oh, this is actually not a very popular game for this studio. So maybe it won't be nostalgic for a bunch of people like it was for me. And then maybe you can collect 10 of those games and do like 10 games on nostalgic for that you've never heard of, N64 games or something like that. Like there's a lot of different routes you can go with older content like this. But if you are passionate about being a variety gaming channel, we always talk about this. You can do variety content, but you still have to have a through line. There has to be a reason people come to your channel if just by chance they're not necessarily interested in the game of the week, right? If you give them a reason to be interested, I didn't play this game. I've never played N64 Spider-Man, but I'm interested in it. I want to see what it was like because I've played the modern ones and I played the ones on PlayStation, like the old school ones, but I didn't know it went back this far. This is cool. So that's kind of where I'm coming from. You have potentially found a through line, and I hope you kind of continue down this path here and continue iterating on it. And just always think of that audience. Like, you can glean a lot from this number here of 928 views and think, okay, who are the people who watch this video? They are nostalgic for this game. They're curious about it. What else? What else could I jump on?
Let me, Dan, quickly give you an example of like the channel that's we talked about a couple of months ago, and they've maintained this connection with their audience. Claw Peels, if you remember, no space.
What? How is it?
So Claw with a K, and then Peels, Peels. Yeah, that one. Top result. So we looked at this channel a little while back, and they were doing the Lego Star Wars games, and they were doing kind of reviews and nostalgic look back on them. And now what they've moved on to is like the Easter eggs of all of the games, because Lego games have tons of Easter eggs baked into them. So they've been looking at all of the things that happen in these games and then taking these games and putting them into compilations. And so if you scroll down, and you can just see that they've been focused on this one idea for several months at this point. And, you know, they still have ups and downs. Some videos get 400 views, some get like 900 views, but then others get 10,000 views and 8,000 views. If you scroll up to the top, I think this loads of Star Wars ones, Star Wars cool facts, 10,000 views, and it's a 30-minute video. So that was a compilation, and it's an outlier for that channel. So they've stuck the course, but they're not stuck to one game. They're in this Lego franchise at the moment, so there's a lot they can explore with, and they've just hit 1,000 subscribers, and they're probably already on their way to monetization. So that's an example of a channel, a template of a channel similar to them. They're just starting their YouTube journey, and they've done this with 43 videos. That's something to maybe latch onto as an example of not stuck to one game, but but they have established a through line, which they can share with their audience.
Awesome to see. I want to just say congrats to Flowers. This is excellent progress. We love to see it. If you had not uploaded this video, we would be saying a lot of, the same stuff we tend to say about gaming channels.
It would be the let's play syndrome, wouldn't it?
Yep, and we would not have suggested this. Like I would have never suggested breaking out by doing this kind of video. So it's just really cool to see, and I hope you continue down this path. All right, next channel, Rob.
Let's do the VR one.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah,
Rob wants to skip ahead.
Yeah.
So it is Nokuto.
Hey, Nokuto.
This is a channel I did find in the pre-selections. I'm like, oh, we got to cover this one because I loved the channel focus. I loved that they are just going all in on VR, and this is a space that kind of has its like ups and downs in terms of like when people talk about it. There was a time when the Quest 2 came out where it was really popular, and then suddenly no one talked about VR. And then the Quest 3 comes out, Apple Vision Pro comes out, everyone's talking about VR again, which is cool. So this is a good time to have a channel like this. And their latest video from 2 days ago, 1.2K views, 13x outlier, Quest 3 becoming better, new VR headsets and Vision Pro successor.
They've had a run here of the last 5 videos that, with the exception of one, are all outliers, thousands of views plus, and look how many subscribers they've got. They're still sub 100 subscriber channel, and they're getting thousands of views on their videos. That's pretty incredible. Excellent work.
Yeah, putting out a lot of content. Very, very encouraging to see. And it does look like when they stick to the VR topic, I mean, they're having outliers here and there. After 2 months, with my first VR headset, the Quest 3 review. Quest 3 becoming better, new meta devices and free upper body tracking. This is cool. Some of the videos not doing as well. Virtual reality therapy, improving mental health with a VR headset. Not a topic a lot of people resonate with, but probably
maybe
important.
too niche, that one.
Yeah, bit niche. Meta apocalypse reason and future promises for Quest users. A bit interesting to say meta apocalypse, like Meta the company. So it sounds like the company's having a downfall, and yet reason and future promises for Quest users. So it's kind of like going back on itself a little bit. Hey, the company's failing. Also, here's what's in store for the future. It's a little confusing. So yeah, they have a lot of data here is what I'm trying to say. If you just click on popular for the types of titles and topics that tend to bring them a lot of views, which is excellent.
I think one series they may want to experiment with, looks like they've done it sporadically so far, is just VR updates, software updates, things that improve the hardware. I think that's something that can be plugged into your channel maybe once a week or like twice a month. Something that just lets your audience know that, hey, as well as all of these kind of little deep dives, reviews, almost like video essays on the technology, I'm also going to keep you updated on everything that's happening. That's just a good way to, I guess, keep in touch with your existing audience, but also reach new audiences as well. And so definitely do more of them when you can.
The thing I was like going to talk to them about, like that I noticed, is they are doing kind of this multiple title structure, and it worked for this video. I don't want to say don't do this, but I do want to encourage them to look at other channels that are covering VR from a news aspect and just kind of see how they're doing their titles and thumbnails and maybe experiment a little bit, because I do think like 1.2K views is good and this video could continue getting views for a bit. But could it have been better, I guess, is my question. And I'm seeing the little, what do we call this? The
pipe, I think.
The pipe.
Like a pipe character.
Yeah, that pipe character always to us indicates I have two titles for this video and I'm going to use them both.
Here's some keywords.
Yeah. And it's not generally recommended. You're kind of telling us so much here, you know, and in some cases it just confuses people. You know what I mean? That was one critique I had.
So Dan, let's look at this from like a future content point of view. Like they're finding now that they're interested in what looks to be the Meta Quest 3 as their primary tool, and then comparing it maybe to other VR headsets. And this feels like a welcome to VR type of channel, where this is still a new technology. So I'm going to talk about the best equipment to use and like the pros and cons. Is there a future in VR? That type of area of video ideas. So like, what could we suggest here to I guess take them to the next stage? If there are, I mean, they've done 23 videos. They've already spent, I guess, used 23 ideas. What could we do to help them maybe generate some more ideas?
Well, we have tools for this. When Rob puts me on the spot and stumps me like this and embarrasses me in front of everybody, I lean on none other than vidIQ itself. vidIQ, the tool, not the YouTube channel, which is where you're at right now. So this is vidIQ. We also have tools. It's not just a channel that tries to help you grow for free on YouTube. We have tools which you can try for free. And then if you like, you can buy them for more access. So this, what you're looking at right now, is similar to what it would look like if you were logged in, you had vidIQ installed and authenticated with your YouTube channel. You would have a dashboard tailored to your channel. So right now we're getting some different daily ideas. We're getting, optimizing our latest video, which is the one we're doing right now. So we can't really do much with that because it's a live stream. But the dashboard has all kinds of helpful stuff in it. And we're not going to cover all of it, but we just want to show you a couple of little things here. For example, I mentioned optimization. You've got this tab here where you can actually go, and it's going to go to your channel, and it's going to kick me out for some reason, which is very interesting that it did that. I don't know why it kicked me out, but it did. It's weird. So we'll show you optimize another time, but what I can show you is the generate tool. That is also here on the left side. And we generated this idea ahead of time because when you use it, all you do is you type in, like we typed in the future of VR, and it's going to generate this whole idea. It takes about 20 seconds. So we pre-generate it for the channel we were just looking at. Because we thought, hey, like what would we do if we were this channel and using this tool? So the future of VR. The future of VR is here, and it's meta, which I really like that title. I think that's pretty interesting, and I think it does play into the news aspect of what has been going on, because Meta is releasing their OS in a way that other headsets can use it. So this is actually a very fitting title for like the time period we're in with VR, which is kind of cool.
And Apple are taking this as
shots fired! Shots fired!
Yeah, that is, yes. I imagine they are, because they just cut a lot of stuff when it comes to the Vision Pro and how much they're going to release of it. So when you generate, you're going to get a few things. You're going to get some top related keywords, and you can dig into these more. You're going to get a title. You're going to get a description. You're going to get tags. Now, as we know, tags are not very important these days. And that's why I love this, because we still like to put stuff in the tag box. All you got to do is hit this copy button and pop it into your tag box. And don't think about it that hard, honestly.
5 seconds of your time.
Yep. You're going to get some suggestions for thumbnails. If you don't want to use these thumbnails, they at least kind of give you a direction to kind of go in, which is cool. And then it's going to offer you a hook that you can use in the video. We are generating a whole video idea here. So you can use this hook. You can change the format of the hook. You can even get the outline. And it's going to kind of just, these are just kind of rails to kind of like help you understand how the flow of the entire video can go. So you can start with your hook, do an introduction, present the problem / challenge, explore it a little bit more, get a climax in there, a conclusion, and then a call to action. So just all the general YouTubiness. And you can even refine this more, where you can change the type of video. Here, you could tell it, oh, I'm making a Let's Play video. I'm doing a review. You can change the length, so it kind of caters to that. So there's all kinds of little tools in here that you can tweak and format. But this is the generate feature. And it's as simple as typing in a sentence and getting an entire video basically spat out at you that you can start at least running with a little bit, which is pretty cool. If you're a free user, you can try this a little bit. You have limited access, and our Boost users have full access to this tool. It's app.vidiq.com to see all the things you've seen here. So there you go.
And that's why we were telling you at the very beginning of this live stream to get to the link, because as Dan said, even if you've just signed up and you've not handed over any money or anything, you just signed up to vidIQ as a free user, you can use this channel you can use this tool right now for your channel. And yeah, as Dan was showing, you can refine a title if you want to. So Dan, if you clicked on that, you could almost change the tone of it, make the title longer or shorter. You can even translate into something else. And the other thing you can do, Dan, if you scroll to the very bottom, is we were looking at like the outline. It kind of gives you an idea of the video. If you wanted to, you could generate a script. Now, you don't have to use that script strictly, but again, it's just going to give you the flash of inspiration, the ideas to get you started on how you may want to create your videos. So, going back to our hero channel, Nokuto. Is it Nokuto? I'm trying to remember myself.
I think
Nokuto,
so.
Yeah, Nokuto. You could have maybe 5 or 6 ideas for VR, throw them in the generate tool, and it can just give you like a bit of a prod and a push into like what direction you might want to structure the videos. But it's available for everybody, and yeah, there's lots of other tools which are really tailored for your channel. Like you were seeing earlier on the vidIQ channel and its content suggestions, optimizations. Once you sign up to vidIQ and connect to your channel, it will be solely focused on what you are making right now on your channel and how to optimize and generate ideas for your channel. So give it a try. Why not? It's free, right?
Yes. And thank you to everyone who checks out our tools, supports us here on YouTube. We appreciate it. All right. So that was Nokuto. Thank you for submitting your channel. And we will move on now to The Create Outdoors, which, Rob, you picked this channel ahead of time.
I did.
886 subscribers, 30 videos.
Yeah.
Looks like, if I go to videos, yeah, they've been at it for years. And just kind of on and off.
Yeah, so I think they've started to take this a bit more seriously in the last year. I do want to ask a question. It is about a certain vehicle, but I don't want to pronounce the vehicle because I just want to check how you pronounce this, the vehicle type.
What? Which one?
So
the brand of vehicle?
Yeah.
Or the specific, the Forester?
No, but
Subaru?
who's it? You say Subaru.
Yeah.
I'm sure other people pronounce it in an odd way. Or is it? What is it? The type of car? Is it the Impreza?
Station wagon?
Impreza. Oh, I don't know. I'm getting myself lost in the pronunciation of Subaru, which is probably not where we want to be for the channel being audited. They want us to give them some. Is it Ford? It is not Ford. So
thankfully, it's not Ford.
This channel has a very defined TAM, total addressable market, which is for a specific vehicle. And if you look at the view counts on some of these, it is incredible. Like 7,000 views, 1,000 views, 5,000 views, 10,000 views, 3,000 views. The majority of the time, they have bangers. One or two which occasionally don't perform as well. I think that the challenge here is it looks like this creator can only make maybe one video a month, if that. So my thought, Dan, would be let's kind of lean in to the Subaru world as they have been doing previously, but make a video that has a big potential audience reach. And so that might be something along the lines of like the complete beginner's guide to the best-selling Subaru vehicle, whatever that is, or the ultimate guide to the best SUV on the planet, which you will think is, I don't know, the Forester or one of the other Subarus. I think there's potential here for one of these videos to get like tens of thousands of views, if not 100,000 views. And because this channel has fewer shots at the target because they're not creating as much, I feel as if each video has to get more bang from its buck. And so maybe like the next one or the one after the next one is like your shoot for the moon one, like where you're going to put in a bit more effort into it and you're going to make it like, but you're going to have a big idea, a big audience to try and reach.
Yeah, and the Creator Doors is here and is a channel member, so thank you, Creator Doors.
Nice.
I appreciate it. I love what you're doing with this channel, even though the uploads are, you know, we're not seeing a video a week or anything. They said they're trying for 2 a month. I think that's totally fine, especially when you're taking your time with your videos and they're doing super, super well, which is great. I think all of this is very healthy and very good. I'm wondering if, and maybe you've done this in the past and I just haven't seen it, is there comparison videos? So like you have the Subaru Forester, what's its #1 competitor? And could you do a versus video on that? And a lot of car channels I've seen, they'll typically they will go to a dealership and they'll test drive a car as part of their review or something like that. So you don't necessarily have to like shell out a bunch of money to get access to these things. And so you could drive like the top competitor to this and give your honest opinions on, you know, like I tried this at you know me, I'm a Subaru guy, but like, here's how I feel about now about this new car I tried. That could be kind of interesting. But it just kind of depends on where they're going. The Create Outdoors, they are doing stuff like, I see this video here, a camp kitchen setup, like a DIY, like, you know, thing you install into your car. And so it might not be about like trying to convince people that they should buy a Subaru or something like that. So they will need to like consider that if they're going to go down that road.
If you look at the video, how to install a white line rear control arms on a Subaru Forester, like that is uber niche, right? How many people like, I think the biggest reach of this video is probably 4,000 views because I don't know, maybe 4,000 people have had to replace this rear control arm. And they've hit every single person in that, you know, total addressable market. So I think if we were to expand this out, like what is the biggest problem or the 5 biggest problems that Subaru Forester owners have, and you make that into a video? Because they're clearly hitting the audience beautifully every single time. I just want them to have, I guess, the next phase viral moment, because they've had many viral moments with thousands of views on these videos, but they've just not had one that's really taken like a big step going forward.
Yeah, I don't know what the Subaru overlanding market is. I started with installs and transitioned to the Subaru overlanding market. I assume this is an example of one of those videos. Where is all the Forester Wilderness content? But I think we're just trying to offer you some suggestions, but we don't want to steer you in the wrong direction. So many car puns today. I'm so sorry.
Do a search for Subaru Forester, Dan.
Subaru Forester.
These are all reviews, really, aren't they?
Yeah.
I'm guessing they don't want to get tied up into the review side of things.
Overlanding with Subarus exploded in the last 4 years. I appreciate your feedback, though.
All right, and then the other thing I would do here is...
it's so modification.
Okay.
That seems to be the through line here. People are modifying their Subarus for adventure.
There was an interesting video there with 100,000 views. If you just scroll back up, what was it called? Is the Subaru Forester STI the perfect overlanding vehicle?
I like this. Every mod ever on my budget.
That's another one. Yeah, I think there's 2 video ideas that I would say this creator just takes, remakes in their own vision and passion.
Yeah.
And then
an outlier here.
The last thing I would like to try, Dan, is if we go back to the web app, and we'll just show them another tool here. If you go to keywords on the left-hand side, this is another cool tool. If you just do a search for Subaru Forester. Apologies if I'm challenging your spelling, because like, I'd be under a lot of pressure now trying to type
Subaru is like not a word I have to write out a lot.
Yeah. And then if you scroll down and do this, the questions, so if we scroll down a bit more, see these questions here, and then click View 206 questions. This might just be a good idea to spark some more video ideas if you haven't already. If there's anything here that kind of relates to thoughts like, oh yeah, I didn't think of maybe doing that. Like how to trade, like is there any trading value for the Subarus? And like, how do you get the best deal for buying one? That might be a good idea. Like, can you mod it into a sports car? There's a question there. Is insurance a problem with this car? So just by going on the screen, it's kind of just sparking a few ideas.
I'm going to give you one way out of left field, just because I saw a video about this recently. So the Cybertruck is kind of a meme right now. It's trending. So does this, because it's about modification, does this particular car have a mod where you can install a tent on the back of it? Because the Cybertruck does. And you know, it'd be kind of funny to see a comparison like that. And if you were thinking about trending topics, I don't know. That's just kind of interesting. But I think depending on people's budgets, they're probably not going to get a Cybertruck anyway. the price difference is just so lopsided. But it's just kind of a funny idea.
I modded my Forester into a Cybertruck.
It does have that. Yeah, like, you know, you could compare the price of what it takes to get, because that tent alone is crazy expensive. You could compare like have the two side by side, like the Cybertruck and the Forester, and the just dollar signs pointing at the tent mods. I don't know. I'm just my imagination's going wild with this. I think this is such a cool niche that you're in. There's obviously a lot of traction here. Like a lot of people are interested in it, and I'm always like, how can you still take this to like the trending topic side of it to maybe get some viewers who aren't in the niche directly, but they're interested, they're curious about it. And so my imagination goes wild. But again, don't let our crazy suggestions get you too off track. We're just very encouraged, and just doing those simple searches with the keywords and just right up here in the search bar, we already got some very interesting ideas. As Rob said, those big meaty videos. Like every year I do how to start a gaming channel in year, and those are to update information that I like collect throughout the year and tell everybody like, okay, this is what I'm seeing in terms of gaming channels and what's working, what's not. And those are always massive for us because they reach the widest segment of that audience. It's not just, hey, how to start a Minecraft channel. It's like, no, if you have a gaming channel, this video is for you. And I try to include as many different niches in there as I can because I know it's going to have broad appeal. So thinking about those broad appeal videos for your channels is always a good thing to do.
And we haven't mentioned at all here the thumbnails and the titles because, Dan, I don't think we need to. I think thumbnails are fantastic. The titles are kind of challenging to a viewer, asking questions, kind of pushing curiosity and FOMO. So I'd say keep it up with all of that. The challenge is that they found their niche. How big is that niche in terms of the audience, and how do they maximize that audience to watch as much of their content as possible?
Absolutely. Okay, so we need to distract you for a second with something else. We are going to...
Hang on. Where's that sound effect? Oh,
yeah.
Where is it
for you.
from?
I knew this would get you. What do you think it is?
Oh, this is going to drive me nuts.
Don't tell him. Do you want?
And then
you
there's a
hear what
laugh
comes
after it. Oh! It's Mario 64.
Yes.
Get in.
We have super chats. I want to talk about super chats.
I'm so glad I got that.
All right. I think you looked at chat. So
I swear I did not.
Flint Snake gave us 5 and said, as of today, my channel has over 22,000 views. Congrats. So far this month, and I only have a little over 1,400 subs. That is awesome. I want to give a shout out to Coach Benji. Thank you, Flint Snake. Appreciate that.
Let me screenshot that just in case you're wondering what they're talking about. This is a one-on-one coaching. You can find out more details if you search for vidIQ coaching.
The Debbie Way Gaming has been a member for 9 months. Thank you so much.
Bruh.
That is a custom sound effect.
Scratch and Spoon Lotto. Good morning and happy Tuesday to you all. Good morning to you. Thank you for being a member for 1 month. Allie was a member for 3 months. Do you recommend baked in captions for YouTube Shorts? I personally do. I think a lot of people use them. I think they're very helpful. And I don't like these days, they're a lot easier to do than they used to be. So I don't think they take like as much effort to install into your video. I think they're very awesome. And you can do fun animated things with them too, just to kind of make them like pop off a bit more than the YouTube captions would do themselves.
What I would say is that if you are trying to demonstrate something on screen, especially when it involves text itself or graphics, then sometimes the captions can be too distracting because they just need to focus on what they need to do or what they need to see. But typically when it's a talking head or something, then captions are fine by me.
Spectre Gaming and Reacts. In April, my videos were averaging a few hundred to a few thousand views, and then when May started, it went down to less than 100. Well, it doesn't seem like there's a question in there. Your videos are averaging 100 to 1,000 views, a few thousand.
I think it's a classic question of what happened to my views.
Yeah. It could be so many things, and maybe some of the stuff we've talked about today might have clued you in a little bit. This is why we always tell people, like, hey, take notes. We saw a channel earlier that let me try and find it again. Like this one here, Flowers. They were playing games and not getting like a ton of views, but they got 928 views here. What's going to happen if they go back to doing these style videos up top here? The views are going to tank again. They are not owed 928 views on every video going forward. And I'm not saying you're assuming that, but it is something that like YouTube can have like ups and downs. I've seen channels that get hundreds of thousands of views on certain videos, and then they'll try something different and get 1,000 views. And that's totally normal. They didn't do anything wrong other than they wanted to experiment with something else. And it doesn't mean their channel is doomed to only get that many views. It's just they tried a topic, it didn't work, time to go back to what was working.
Or it could be that the topic has run out of interest for the audience. You're a gaming channel. I'm not going to check the channel, but just for example, let's say you were a big Helldivers 2 channel. There has been an enormous backlash on that game regarding signups of accounts and whatever. Yeah. And I don't know, maybe you've just continued to do Let's Plays on it while everybody else has been talking about the drama around it. And now obviously less people are playing it. But that's just an example of how the topic can change like in front of your eyes. And if you don't react to it, that can be a challenge.
Yeah, so many things can happen outside of your control as well.
I forgot to do Self-Indulgent Gaming Corner this week as well.
I was going to mention Helldivers because I don't play it, and after all this drama, and then Sony going back and saying, all right, fine, you don't need a PlayStation account, I'm like, maybe I'll try Helldivers.
Yeah, I'm interested, but it's just the usual thing of, I don't want to play a game online and just get trolls everywhere.
That the reason I want to play it is because it's a PvE game and you can just play with your friends and you don't have to worry about like PvE. So I'm like, okay, I might know some people want to play this, and that's kind of cool. All right, so Searching for Tone says, I don't know him personally, but Nolan Molt would be a great addition to your team. Worked for another channel I won't name. Yes, we've worked with Nolan before. We've had
him on a
live streams before. We like Nolan.
Nolan is an awesome dude. I don't know if you've seen his channel, but it looks like he is going solo and he's flying high solo. I think he's trying to build out a business, and he had a fantastic response, and we just wish Nolan all the best in his future endeavors. And yeah, who knows, we might have him on the channel in a live stream conversation capacity in the future.
Yeah. Mystery Master 3 says, thanks to the tips and tricks from your streams and videos, I've reached 2,230 subscribers. Nice. Thank you. However, I'm struggling with watch time. Any advice you can give me on how... Oh, here now without an audit.
It's good that you kind of preempted that. Like, we're not going to audit your channel.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're not going to audit my channel with a super chat. So how can you help me with watch time?
So video essay channels are something that like it's very popular right now. If you can stay on topic, like you feel like it would still be relevant to your current audience, can you do a longer form conversation about a game? Because is it a gaming channel? Sorry, I don't know if about the topic that you're covering. That could be one way. Again, I will pull up this channel again because it's already here. You'll notice the video length on the Spider-Man one's 34 minutes, and it does 928 views. Like, this is probably a watch time bomb for this channel. This video right here.
Definitely.
And if the video is well edited, and we did see earlier they did edit their video. It's not like it was just a static gameplay the whole time. If the video is well edited and those 34 minutes are justified, this video is going to get a lot of watch time. So it is kind of just about like, don't make a video longer for the sake of making it longer, but maybe get into a topic where you know, okay, that would be a longer video inherently. I cannot make that any shorter than a certain amount of time. That's very surface level advice there, but hopefully something to get you thinking.
Yeah, you can also like expand on the idea. If you make a big promise in the idea of a content, then for those viewers who are going to click in, they're going to stick around for longer, but then you've got to think about how you can keep the audience engaged through that longer content. But like, we've been on a bit of a watch time mission over the last year where our videos have increased by like about 5 minutes per video. We used to average about 8. Now we're in like the 12-minute zone. You know, that's been a challenge for us. We've realized that I think what's important is that the idea is strong enough to make people commit to that longer video, and that the script is, well, the hook obviously is always really important, but the script is tight enough to maintain the interest of the viewer throughout the content.
We have waiting patiently for summer with a super. Can uploading old videos affect a new video's performance?
Updating.
Sorry, not uploading. Yeah. Updating. I was gonna say uploading. Okay, updating. If that old video performs well, all of a sudden, let's say you change the title thumbnail, it was getting impressions, and now YouTube's like, hey, people are clicking on this, and it starts to get traction. Yes, it can affect the new video performance because now YouTube is recommending your newer content to the people who are watching the older video, if that makes sense.
It can work the other way as well. And if a new video performs really well to a new viewer, YouTube may say, hey, let's show them the older stuff. And so if your older content is then aligned packaging wise with the new stuff, that can help.
Yeah.
But there's always a big trade-off, isn't it, Dan? Like, should I spend 2 or 3 hours tweaking a title and thumbnail on an old video that's not getting many views at all? Or should I put it into my next project? And you've got to weigh up whether or not the old video still has potential. Like, it has good signals within it. Like, people like the video who watch it, but they're not clicking on it because the title or the thumbnail is bad. How can I improve that? Like, that's the ultimate challenging question when it comes to refreshing old content.
Yeah. So we'll do one more and then we'll get back to channels.
All right.
But we will get to more of these super chats in a little while.
Yeah.
Explore New World says, why don't you pick Indian YouTube channels?
We
do. Yeah. If they submit on the form, we will pick them. We always struggle when the channel is in a foreign language because when we don't speak the language, it's like hard to know what the titles are saying and things like that. But that doesn't mean we actively avoid them. If they get picked during the selection process, then we will absolutely do our best. All right.
Correct, Dan, 100%.
So we have more, but we will get back to those in a little while. We have more channels we want to cover in this first half. And the next channel we are looking at is called Scinacz. Excuse me.
Yes, them.
Them. They are a game development channel. Now, we had so many channels like adjacent to gaming today that I made sure to pick the first gaming channel that's submitted on the forum. But there's a bunch, like the VR channel earlier submitted in the non-gaming form, and that counts, but it still felt pretty gaming to me. And then this one was also a good channel, but they're a game dev channel. So that is why I've included them here, because I loved what they were doing. They started a year ago, and then a few months ago, they started taking YouTube a bit more seriously with some more uploads, and they even have a big outlier here. And this is a video just seeing the title that I want to watch
It's
myself.
the title, isn't it? That title is awesome.
The title's awesome. I made chess into a horror game. This is fantastic. Like, this is awesome. And I'm wondering too, I just saw a clip of Markiplier in the corner. Does that mean you made this game and it got picked up by larger channels? Because that can always be a huge game changer, no pun intended there, for a channel coming up. Let's see.
One day I was just talking with someone on Discord and horror chess?
That is such a bad idea.
This guy gave me an amazing idea to make chess into a horror game. And that's what I'll be doing today. First things first, we need a chessboard.
So they're getting right into game development. And I know nothing about what they're doing, but I think it's great to see like the simple explanation. Okay, so we'll need a chessboard. I don't know what this program is, but I don't need to know. I'm just along for the ride at this point. And I did see the Markiplier clip coming up in a moment. I think it's just them maybe using it as B-roll or something.
Usually that bad in any of the games, so I'll play through.
And I also use that inspiration.
Okay, so he's just being inspired by people playing horror games. Gotcha. Right. So that's great. That means this video is like doing well on its own. And
I think, Dan, what we should do at this point is like, as we're continuing on, but I just want to pause now because like the beauty of the title is like the contrast in that chess is a very methodical, slow-paced, non-frightening game. But if you turn it into a horror game, that is the complete opposite juxtaposition. And I think that's what is the hook. So I open it up to the community here. What other video game ideas can this creator do where you're taking one element of a game and combining it with something that it shouldn't be combined with? The one that comes into my head, but obviously this would never get off the ground, is like Super Smash Brothers as in the style of Mortal Kombat. I think that would be an amazing game for somebody to develop. But it's just that kind of crazy combination of ideas. So like suggest them in the chat, and if there are any good ones, which are clean, we might bring up on screen as we continue auditing this channel.
I love how they made a game called Buckshot Roulette, and then they made it multiplayer, and that video got more views than the original, which is really cool. I think this makes it more enticing too. I like the thumbnail better, but also I think it makes Fall Guys is Five Nights at Freddy's. I think this makes it feel like, oh, I could play this with my friend. That looks fun. Mario Kart platformer, that would be horrible. I was thinking, what if oh, I lost it now, because they could go down a horror game route for a bit and say checkers is a horror game, things like that. What if
Worms checkers?
I'm gonna go on a tangent here. So what would horror checkers be like? Let's say there's a checkers board. It's in a dark room. You make the first move, and the board glides away into the dark, and you have to go find it. And now suddenly you're walking around a building, just like any other horror game where you're getting jump scares left and right, and you're just trying to find the chessboard to make your next move. And maybe there's some stakes where if you don't find it in time, you die or something. There you go. You can have that one for free. Mario Bros. Into GTA.
The problem is Nintendo in all of these ideas.
Yeah, you can't really, horror game about rats showcase tape. So the latest video did not do as well 2 weeks ago. Horror game about rats showcase tape. I don't get it.
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't immediately get it. Whereas I made chess into a horror game. Even without the thumbnail, you just get it instantly.
Yeah. That's what this creator needs to continue doing. Simple ideas. I know what chess is. I know what horror games are. This works beautifully. You just told me exactly what it is in the title. This is like, I don't know. I don't. Horror game about rats is interesting. I don't know what showcase tape means, and that's where I kind of get confused as the viewer. Also, the thumbnail doesn't really do much for me either. So that's all it is. Like, this channel is doing fantastic. They have the talent, they have the skill, they have the ideas. It is literally just pitching the videos the right way. It reminds me of a lot of other game dev channels that do silly things with their powers of game development rather than devlogs of like the game they've been developing for 5 years. So this is awesome. This is awesome to see, and I hope you're releasing these games for other people to play. That's like, you could have a double career. You could be selling these games on Steam, and you can be having a channel that's successful and that's monetized. Like, this could be an entire career for you if you get it right.
I noticed a lot of people as well suggesting turning some form of game into a roguelite style game. And Dan, you mentioned this game to me a couple of weeks ago, actually. What was it? Balatro
or Balatro? I don't know how to pronounce it.
Which is a poker game which has been turned into a roguelike game. I'm wondering what could be done, what classic gaming style could be turned into a roguelite.
That's interesting too. Yeah. That game is like a masterpiece. It's so good in every way. So yeah, lots to think about there. But this channel, with only a handful of videos, has broken the mold, and I'm excited to see what we do next. 12
videos, 300 plus subscribers. That one outlier, which we can all see from just the title. The title carries that video.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're late to getting to random selection when Travis joins, and I haven't even done pre-selected channels yet.
Hey, Travis.
Hey, you know what I like to do? I love to wake up and not even 10 minutes later going live in front of 600 or 700 people that will be seen by thousands of other people later. I can say all the most ridiculous
things.
Very
quickly, what jumps out on this channel? Let's see if you can find it.
Let's take a look. There's something green in the middle. Is that the right answer?
Yeah, it still must be quite sleepy.
Are you talking about, like, what are you talking about? Just that's what jumps out at me.
So the thing that jumped out to everybody else, Travis, was the title "I Made Chess into a Horror Game," which you
want me to read that little thing?
We just thought it was a beautiful idea.
That is a great listen. That's a great title. It's not a bad. So is this a horror channel? Is that what we're talking about?
It's a game dev channel.
Let's move on.
What? I'm not even. I've been awake not even 15 minutes. Leave me alone. I'm just here to. I'm just here because so they don't find me.
Okay,
Travis is just eye candy at this point.
I'm gonna warn Travis and everyone else that the next screen is not in dark mode.
Oh, bro, why?
Victoria, our community manager in the Facebook group, has issued another challenge, and we have a winner. You were to post your oldest or the worst thumbnail you have, and your newest or the best thumbnail you have, and we had a winner. This was the submission. This is the newest one from this channel, and here's their lowest performing thumbnail. I already see these examples and go, aha, that makes sense. I still like the lowest performing thumbnail, for being honest, though. There was a sense of danger here.
Mm-hmm.
So the channel we're looking at, who won the channel review, is Marwan Barakat. I hope I'm saying your name right. 527 subscribers, 15 videos.
Nice.
Let's go. Very nice. Does he have shorts as well or no?
No. Their oldest videos did very well.
Well, good thumbnails.
5.3K, 6.3K, yeah.
So what's this channel about? Eat that frog?
Works from home.
Productivity?
Yeah, here's like the Notion logo. This tool will change your life. Short film. So I think it's a channel about working from home.
Yeah, that would, like, a channel like this would have blown up in the beginning of 2020 and just could have taken that kind of speed. Like, this is the problem. Half my words will come in 15 minutes. The rest of my brain is still waking up, but the first part of the brain understands the concept. It just doesn't have the words put together to make it make sense. Could have taken that. Still don't have it. Anyway, back in 2020, this would have been great. Would have grown a big channel, big views, big subscribers, big. I'll just say big a lot. Lots of big. And but nowadays, like, it's kind of normal. So I wonder what you're going to do to kind of make your channel stand out. I do like the thumbnails, though. There's some really good ones. I quit, start now, we're being fooled. Good stuff.
Travis, let's try this.
Let me see if I can. All
Okay,
right,
we've
that's
just
good.
rebooted.
All right, there
Good?
we go. That's good. That
Yeah.
works. Yeah, I think that worked actually.
Nice.
That's mean.
No, that's reasonable.
Okay. I was just gonna say, like, I'm trying to think of other ideas. One thing that has been happening to people who work from home is return to office. That's it happens so much. It's abbreviated as RTO in a lot of communities. I wonder if that's a topic this channel could touch on. I don't know in what regard, like, you know, return to office. Here's some jobs you can look at to stay remote. I have no idea, but I am trying to think of like where trendy wise, like where could this channel go to, you know, talk about topics that are a little more relevant.
Here's what I'm struggling a little bit with. If you look at the timeline of the videos, we have business talk advice. Then we have kind of these motivational or big life questions. And then the last two videos are like productivity hacks.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were to ask me as a viewer, what video is coming next on this channel, I don't really know, which I think is kind of a bit of a problem. I guess the embryonic challenge of this creator, I don't think they've fully landed on where they want to be, value proposition wise. Is there anything in the about section, Dan, to help us with that?
Established solopreneur and wannabe filmmaker, helping heroes working from home become more successful while staying sane. I share proven tips, experiments, and strategies that I came up with after working 5 years from home.
So yeah, so at least the description, the about section talks about remote working, but I don't get that as a super strong value proposition. So where it's either the description's out of date or the content isn't following that North Star.
Mm-hmm.
Momentum. That's the word I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 30 minutes late.
Good to know.
I told you it would come.
I'm trying to think because there's so many angles. Like, we work from home. There's so many angles you could take with this. Like, you know, having a space that's separate from your space where you go to relax is very important. And some people live in situations where they don't have that. Like their office is also where they hang out and play video games. It just so happens. So is there some tips for that? Because part of the like thing with working from home is sometimes you just have a hard time disconnecting. It's you're just kind of always there. You're at your computer. If someone slacks you, you may as well answer. It'll take 2 seconds, but before you know it, you're pulled into a meeting and it's 6 o'clock at night and you're like, what is going on? I have to make dinner. So if you had a separate space and you could shut down your work computer and go and like into a different area, like how can people manage that? That's just one issue off the top of my head I can think about that kind of relates to what this channel does, which is like tools and motivation and things like that.
An idea for a series as well, which I've started almost by accident here, is this blank will change your life. I don't know if they're doing this intentionally, but those are the last 2 videos. Now, the blank is obviously the productivity hack. So I'm wondering if I want to experiment with that for the next... They could do 5 videos on that. And once they've done that, they've then got a compilation of like 45 minutes worth of like the ultimate blanks that will change your life. That might be like how you end that series.
Yeah. Also, the other thing I was going to say is like, just from a work from home perspective, finding work from home jobs it's getting more challenging. Again, return to office. But what do people want? They want that. So if you have any tips for people like that, I know I'm just throwing random spaghetti at the wall right now, but that's another thing that could have some broader appeal.
That is definitely a life hack as well. Do not throw spaghetti at your office wall at home because it will smell.
Especially if it's the room you also hang out in a lot. Like
100%. 100%.
Yeah, it's gonna start stanking.
Thumbnails are just I've just like dialed up to 11 last 2, right? They look fantastic to me.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't really adjust them at all now. You can see the evolution that's gone from where they started to where they are now.
I will say the latest video, the packaging tells me nothing. This one technique will change your life. Quick life fix. Is it a technique for what? Like,
yeah, that's a good question. Does it save time, money,
productivity,
increase productivity? That's a fair question.
And are we talking about a software tool? Are we talking about just a way like you get up earlier in the morning? Like what is it? like that you gave us kind of nothing there, and there's other videos that did very well, and you gave a little bit more. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind as well. Okay, well, I think we've haphazardly covered this channel.
Haphazardly?
Bits and pieces. We pieced it together. It was a puzzle that Travis smashed. It's all over the floor, and we managed to pick up the pieces, I think, in the end.
Pick up the pieces? There's a puzzle channel?
and now it's broken all over again. All right, it's time to get into randomly selected channels, which means you've been submitting on the forums down below. If you haven't, there's still time. And we are now going to use a random number picker to see if your channel is next. Let's see. And now, Travis, and you made everybody like tired. And now, yeah. That was the wrong intro. I'm sorry. Savage is not here. This is the video I was trying to play. It's the CLAAAW. Or it will be. The CLAAAW is here to help us. We have 521 responses on the non-gaming form, and we have 363 on the gaming form. So all we have to do, very simply, is say, hey, good morning, CLAAAW. There are 522 non-gaming channels waiting for review. Will you please pick one for us?
Some people already know what's coming.
And the CLAAAW will think about it for just a moment. It won't take long. Not too long. And here we go.
Oh, of course. My favorite task of the day, Dan. Another groundbreaking channel to review. Lucky me. Let's pay our respects to the almighty YouTube subscribe button before, let's see, number 412 is the lucky champion today. Maybe next time you should hire a slot machine for this job. At least they have fancy lights and music.
Oh.
Why is Dan so good at making echoes? I don't understand.
What was that, Dan?
Was it echoing?
Yeah.
It was super. It was worse echo than the ending song. It was, yeah.
Wait.
That's what Claudia is right now, Dan.
The voice was echoing because I probably left the tab up and the intro echoed, which is my bad. But the voice was echoing?
Yeah. I mean, it sounded like it's coming out of your speakers, but you know. Whatever.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Yes, I'm not wearing headphones. Okay, I'll remember that.
Oh, well,
I mean, I haven't used this yet, Dan, but.
Okay. No, good to know. I gotta mute my mic. Got it. And I'll come back and the mic will be muted and everyone will make fun of me for that too. Vehicles on a Journey is the random channel that the CLAAAW picked.
All right.
160 subscribers.
You want to show it on screen, or are you just gonna look at it yourself? I don't know. It's up to you. Like you can just talk about it if you want. It's cool. We can imagine it. Everyone imagine.
I'll just, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna let you guys handle it.
Let's imagine what this channel looks like.
Yeah. Dan.
Everybody. Oh, there it is.
Get some help.
That's what Dan needs right now. Right, what are we looking at here?
All right.
At least Travis is awake now.
I mean, yeah.
Just go to the top of the channel again.
No.
Vehicles on a Journey.
Very nice. Very nice. So I saw buses a couple times in the thumbnails later on. Like, what was that all about?
Is this a vehicle spotting channel or a school bus spotting channel?
I mean, that right there is a little creepy if they just following a school bus around. But if this is something else, it's kind of cool. Like where do you get a school bus to take, and then what do you do with it? What are they doing with that school bus?
Is this inspired by the train spotting channels? But it's just random vehicles?
Yeah. So click on more. I just want to try and get an understanding of a value proposition here for the description.
Okay. Footage of my channel. You can use any footage of my channel. You don't have to ask.
Oh.
Okay. This is your footage, right?
Is this guy hidden in a forest somewhere with a long range camera lens, just taking pictures of like a bus driving by, or what's going on here?
I don't think so. I think the channel is just so by most popular.
They're really short too. They're like very short
Yeah.
videos.
I'm assuming there's no narration, but we'll get back to that.
There's lots of views on some of
So there
these.
were some outliers here.
And it's all bus stuff.
Let's look at the engagement on these.
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
0 comments, 10 likes. Okay, so these could be promoted.
I'm glad. I would have been very disturbed otherwise. Kind of glad they were promoted or embedded or whatever.
It's kind of rare I say this, but sometimes there are channels that just don't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And there might not be an audience for this kind of content. And I know that's not encouraging.
I think there is an audience for this, but we don't want to try to encourage them in any sort of way.
Assuming it's just a fascination with vehicles, I think the big issue with this for me is that we are looking at cars just in a community somewhere, and there's nothing remarkable. These are cars everyone sees all the time, and I think if you want a vehicle spotting channel, you can go to a place that's kind of semi-normal, but then if a McLaren pulls up, maybe then you have a video.
Yeah.
But this is just kind of like, hey, I saw a bus. And
I would actually like to see like high speed vehicles and stuff. I mean, I can see any of these cars or stuff anytime. I think it'd be really interesting to see like unusual cars. But again, sometimes these are just like parking or something. Is it like, so what you guys were saying, is it like a train spotting but with cars? Maybe. And by the way, like there might be a lot of people that watch this. We're just not aware. I've just never seen anything quite like this before, which is words I usually never say on this live stream.
I think we should move on, or
Yeah,
Robert?
let's move on.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, we'll pick a gaming channel. There's 370. I'll mute my mic this time after giving the prompt. But,
Sure.
We'll see if I do that.
You want to?
We'll bring the CLAAAW back up. Okay, CLAAAW, thanks for that. It was a very weird channel. The next channel, there are 370 gaming channels. You need to pick one, please.
All right. I also want to, when this is done, you got to bring up the CLAAAW, right? Am I doing everything now?
Did you hear that, folks? Dan has asked me, the eloquent claw machine, to yet again select a gaming channel. I'm just over the moon, or the arcade at least.
Hey.
And the grand lucky number, oh praise the almighty subscribe button, is 295. Congrats to another potential Fortnite guru. Have you ever considered replacing me with a magic 8-ball? I hear they're pretty accurate.
Okay.
Hi.
Sorry. The CLAAAW has chosen 295.
295.
Wonder if this is a Fortnite channel. Wouldn't that be amazing?
I mean, one of every four, it probably is, or Minecraft. Oh,
It is not.
nice.
Istian Ikes? Maybe?
Hey, listen, no spoilers. It just came out on Game Pass. I'm gonna play it this week. So
Me
Skull and
too.
Bones?
I'm ready to play this after Ghost of Tsushima.
I'm beating Final Fantasy 7.
Oh no, so hang on. This is the first one. Fallen Order. It's Survivor. The new one.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I'm gonna play the new one. Lots of views on the one 3 days ago. What's that all about? Let's take a look at that one.
We have 7 comments, 35 likes.
It's on the edge of possible. I mean, totally could be embedded somewhere. But 66.
Is this just a cutscene, Dan, with no audio commentary?
It seems that way.
First, though, we have orders. Barakat is secure.
Yeah, it'd be different if like he put overdubbed something funny or whatever. I don't understand like some of the concept. What do the comments say? I'm just curious. Like, what are they actually saying? So it's really 2 comments. So now we're back to, and they're going back and forth because it's counting the back and forth. So it's really just 2 comments, which is the order. Yeah, I just wonder. Yeah, for like 2,000 views to have 2 comments, it's I think we can add 1 and 1. I think the thing is, I don't get the concept of this particular channel. So if this thing, when was this posted? 3 days ago. That game's been out for many years, and at this point, you could have seen that scene if you wanted to. Are you trying to tell a story through the cutscenes? That might be kind of interesting, but to split it up into 1-minute segments is kind of odd. I don't get I don't understand.
I think it's literally cutscenes.
Yeah.
I think the entire channel is comprised of just cutscenes from games.
So if that is the case, then the question, like it's the 30,000-foot high question, like what is the ultimate goal of the channel for the creator? Because as we see it, this is not transformational in that you're just collating the non-playable sections of a video game for people to see. And I'm sure people will find it interesting because Fallen Order is a good game and it has a good story. Obviously, the EA wouldn't put this on their channel because they don't want to spoil the story for people playing the game. You know, other channels will do this, but it's not going to allow you likely to monetize the channel in the later on because there's a lack of transformation here. But now, Dan, you're searching for stuff from a couple of months ago where there is
38 minutes.
Like a let's play.
The video kind of like picked up, and it has comments, 31 comments, 21 likes. I just want to see it. So like, was there commentary in this video?
You have to do things within a certain time to get it done.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. So I think what's interesting, if this video wasn't promoted or something like that, this was an outlier video, and I'm curious as to why they kind of went away from covering. Like, I've never heard of this game, but like, you did it. This is a good title, and I'm kind of wondering like, why deviate and go into these shorter videos that aren't doing as well. I mean, it's one outlier. They did try some other stuff that did not do.
It's a different game every time of it. It's the typical game and focus challenge. But now they do have a focus, which is cutscenes from a video game, but they're not transformational in any way.
Well, and even if you were like, because something that does actually work in gaming is like the different endings of games and such. But you need to be pretty early on that. You can't be years later, like, 35 endings of this game. Like, those do get views, but they're not something you can put out 3 to 4 years after the game's been out. Like, it's too late at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the cutscenes need to be like shown for a reason. I think just showing cutscenes on their own is like, eh. But yeah, I like that multiple endings idea. If you're trying to unlock those, but you don't feel like going through the game over and over again, maybe you just want to see them. Now with the developer or publisher want you to upload those just on their own, maybe you react to them so it's a little more transformational, but like it would make more sense. But I think you're going to be kind of like spending a lot of time making these, and they're going to continue to not do super well. We think maybe this one was like promoted with YouTube's promotion tool, which kind of shows videos to people who did not ask for them, meaning you're creating ads and you're not really getting a dedicated audience if that's what you're doing. But you had some outliers before that where you were doing commentary and things like that. I think focusing on one audience, you went from horror to Skull and Bones, two totally different games, two totally different audiences. You should focus on one audience, and you should continue, try some things like before that were working. It kind of feels like this channel needs a reset in terms of like their strategy.
Let's test this, Dan. Can you go back to our keyword research tool and do a search for Serum video game?
Is that how you spell it, Serum?
I think it was, yeah. What questions have we got here?
I don't know if we did the right search.
How to make 8-bit video
There might be other games
music,
called Serum.
How to make video game music with Serum. How to get video game sound, Serum.
It's just called Serum.
It's just like, it's a bit of a broad game, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it might be hard to... Because I was just wondering like if they returned to that game and had some ideas of how to play through that game.
Seemed like a lot of sound stuff.
I mean, and then like there's this farming game. Like we're kind of bouncing around way too much. There's no focus on one specific audience here. Whether you go 2 months ago, or you go to the latest videos, which are just kind of like cutscenes. So the value prop needs to be kind of learned by this creator still.
Agreed.
All right.
Let's do this.
We do have some more super chats. We did want to make sure we got to. So thank you for your super chats. We have a new member, My Wild Home.
Hey, let's go.
Custom sound effect is... What am I going to pick? They can have that sound effect.
Amy's Colorful Chaos gave us a super sticker. Appreciate you. Juno's World, I'm going to say, recently went part-time with my day job this week. I went from averaging 1,000 views on some videos to getting 300,000 views. Best of luck, creators. Thanks for
Fantastic. Well done.
That's amazing.
Love it when a risk pays off.
And good luck on like taking the big step from going from at least a full-time job to making YouTube part of your income. That's a brave step, and so far so good. If you've increased your view count by a factor of 300.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Hammy or Hammy, one or the other, became a YouTube member.
Oh yeah.
Director Henley, 12 weeks serious, and I'm getting at 650 subscribers and 1,500 watch hours. Thank you guys.
Pretty good.
Question?
Return there. Yep.
Is there a service from you guys where you can get your channel looked at, not publicly, but like one-on-one?
So every so often we'll do like a live streaming thing or whatever. But actually, it's funny you bring this up because I wanted to bring this up anyway. Tomorrow I'm doing an AMA in the public Discord at like 1 p.m. Pacific. So, and since the public Discord is free for everyone, you can go join the public Discord and be there tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific, and you can ask questions. I'm not going to look at channels specifically, but you can ask questions, and sometimes that might help you with your journey.
vidiq.com/discord if you want to join that. My Wild Home says we are building. Oh, we have one-on-one coaching too. We didn't really specify. We also have that.
Get.vidiq.com.
Yeah, get.vidiq.com. My Wild Home says we are building on our 62-acre island.
Wow.
Have grown by over 1,500 subs in the past 28 days. We are interested in coaching. Awesome. Well, hit us up.
.vidiq.com.
There you go. I should put a bit.ly together for that. But
all right, Rob, I need you to do your best to pronounce this next channel.
Right, yeah, okay. Let me just track it.
That was pretty good. Should I upload in either 50 FPS, HD 25, or 4K 25?
Oh my gosh. Trust me when I tell you, no one's going to care. Now, if you're a gaming channel, obviously you got to do the highest frame rate possible. But if you're not a gaming channel,
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Yeah, if it's not gaming, then it's not really going to matter that much.
I mean, MKBHD has some very strong opinions on this.
I do too, but that's different. We're trolling over there.
Swears 30 frames per second.
All the tech people are trolling.
Stuff can look weird if it's in a frame rate that's just not typical and usual, but like I think for most genres and topics, it's not that important.
Especially if you're like a talking head, like it's completely irrelevant. But I'm with MKBHD on this. I've always said 30. But to be honest, like again, if you're not doing gaming, then it doesn't matter.
I think film uses 24 a lot.
Yeah,
it does.
So yeah, it really depends on the type of content you're making. Fish Tank Media been doing, I'm guessing YouTube since January. VidIQ member, over 300,000 views and 3,600 sub. Keyword and IQ help.
Listen, he needs some smart help. He needs some brain cells.
You can rewind to the beginning of his live stream where we just demoed a couple of tools, but I would say make sure to stick around both on the channel and in the Discord community because we're going to be focusing quite a lot on education of the tools over the coming weeks and months.
Mr. Lot says, can a vlog have a value proposition?
Absolutely.
Wow. You know what's funny about this? We just shot the new episode of The Boost with a vlogger, and she talks exactly about this. Mr. Law, hit subscribe on this because either later this week or next week, we're going to have a video where we interviewed a very successful vlogger and explains how she's able to not only have a successful vlog, but not even stay really within her niche and still be successful, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, definitely subscribe because that's coming very, very, very soon.
Parashant Vadia, I butchered that one. Thank you for becoming a member. Fitting sound effect for me. Super Gamer Reviews. How often should you post on the community tab?
I think once a day is a decent cadence. Twice a day if you can. So like space it 12 hours in between each post.
Emmethy Otterton gave us a super chat. Thank you. Jersey Ray Diggs became a YouTube member.
Oh, no.
And Jeep Psychology 101 gave us 20. Very generous of you. And is also a member. Want to try a different strategy to up the retention rate? Keep talking head portions under 20% and camera angle changes at 10-second intervals, trying to keep the chest beating Neanderthals engaged.
Who's that
Your
guy? I
thoughts?
keep every time he says something like that, I can't. But he's right, though. He's right.
Well, here's the thing. It's all well and good focusing on editing to improve audience retention. But isn't I'm not going to say lower hanging fruit. I just think the different, more valuable skill would be like better, I'm going to put this in inverted commas, storytelling techniques. That means you don't have to necessarily tell a story in a video, but you have to be conscious of like opening a loop, closing a loop, and like increasing the stakes as the video continues on. I would just say, yeah, it's cool to maybe think about editing, but I think you will get a lot more juice, value, and retention out of the telling of the quote unquote story.
Mm-hmm. I don't see heavy editing as a hack for more views. I see it as something you do as part of the art form of making a video. So I don't know. I don't like the advice of like you should edit in a certain way no matter what. I think you should edit in a certain way that fits your content, and it should all kind of fit together in a way that makes sense.
I think the editing is the polish on top of the structure and the flow of a video.
It should be supplemental. It shouldn't be like the star of the show. And then we have one here. We have a couple more, and I will warn you, as we get later in the day, we could not get to your super chat, so please be aware of that. Our views seem to have died on YouTube, but we are doing great on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Should we make a new channel and upload all our old videos to it? I want to say no if you're doing a similar thing to what you were doing that was getting views before. It depends if your content has changed a lot. But I wouldn't say uploading your older videos will have... That's... I wouldn't do that. I don't think anything died because something is inherently wrong with your channel. I don't think your channel was poisoned by something, and now you're like, well, now I got to get a new channel. I think it's just a matter of like, maybe you made a pivot that didn't resonate with your original audience.
It already sounds like the creators are doing a lot. Like we're trying to publish to 4 different social media platforms. You know, it may be that, hey, YouTube isn't the right platform for you, and you should invest more in Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, where the algorithm/audience is responding better. That might be a difficult thing to accept because maybe the argument is, but YouTube's the most stable platform and on average has the greatest financial returns. But you're getting more reward. I guess least path of resistance. Let's just focus in on the platforms that are giving you a return on investment.
Mm-hmm. James Grant says, vidIQ, I've noticed on your page it doesn't have much content towards kids channels. Last video was 4 years ago. Do you avoid these now after legal changes with YouTube made?
It's not that we avoid the topic. I guess the problem is that once you talk about made for kids, we're excluding probably 80-90% of our audience, and we want to try and make videos that have a high total addressable market. So as it was a news topic, it was interesting to I think the entire platform. But yeah, and it's a very tricky subject to cover. And like, I'll be honest, I'll just be straight up with you. I've never made a channel made for kids, so I'm lacking in the knowledge and experience of how to make content effectively for those channels.
Yeah. And then Emery Otterton, sorry, is a variety channel not niche enough? Kind of depends what you mean by variety. If like earlier we saw a channel that was a variety gaming channel, but once they kind of honed in on a nostalgic game, we suggested, hey, keep doing nostalgic stuff. So they can play a variety of games, but under that umbrella of like, hey, this is about nostalgia. So yes, just saying I'm a variety channel and uploading a video about your dog one day and a game another day and a cooking video the next day, that's not niche at all. That's not going to cater to one specific audience at all. So that's my answer. I think you can do variety to a degree. If no one has anything to add to that, that concludes our super chat.
I was trying to think of like a through line when you said, what was it? A video about your dog one day, and then what was what video was
a
the
gaming
next day?
video. And
So I was
cooking
thinking, what would be
video.
the through line there? Like you try and teach your dog a new trick, but then you also try and teach the video game a new trick, and that just didn't work. So I couldn't. I
See?
didn't know how to merge the variety together. Unfortunately,
You can't just cram pieces together.
Yeah.
More puzzle reference. Hey, real quick, please subscribe. We are trying to beat the Ford Motor Company. Don't forget,
Yeah.
we are on our way. And
We
with
still
your
got a
help,
ways to go, but we can do it.
Do you want me to give you an update?
yeah.
Yeah.
The screen's still broken. So we're at 1,843,644.
I mean, what do? They only make cars. We help people, work from their parents' basement. Now, which is better if you think about it? Who's helping society more?
You don't need a Ford if you don't have to drive to work.
True.
Just saying.
True.
Just
Look.
saying.
There you go. Cancel Ford.
Disclaimer: I do have a Ford.
Mm.
So I've sold out.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Well, you just blew it. All right.
Speaking of blowing it, Claudia, what's next?
Non-gaming, or what did we do last? I think we did gaming last. Okay, non-gaming. They're 564. There are 564 non-gaming channels. Please pick one. All right. Now we wait.
Sure, this music isn't going to get us copyrighted.
Oh, the joy is simply uncontainable. A non-gaming channel this time, just to mix it up a little. Praise be to the YouTube subscribe button, our guiding light. Today's lucky number is 0.464. I'm so excited I can hardly contain myself. By the way, wouldn't a dartboard do a better job selecting these numbers, Dan?
No, probably not. All right. So 0.464.
0.464.
Did she say
usually-
0.4?
Does
If
that mean
there's
channel
ellipses,
0?
There were ellipses, and so it read that as 0.464.
Okay.
So I'll get rid of the point. The commie world.
Ellipses.
Why are you laughing?
Why wouldn't you?
Just
At this point?
how Claudia turned ellipses into points.
Oh.
It's made me laugh.
I thought you were making fun of me.
Made me
okay.
chuckle. All right.
It's the commie world. 236 subscribers, 18 videos. They're traveling and trying different foods.
Battle of the Boys, Epic Pizza. Listen, I'm all.
I
about
think so,
watching.
yep.
And how? What's their oldest video? I'm curious how long they've been at this.
4 months.
Oh, well, this is a new channel. Oh, okay, cool.
Most popular is this one here.
Okay.
Wonderland Indoor Amusement Park.
Very cool.
Just to answer that super chat earlier on, I think this would be. I think this is an Indian channel,
Yeah,
unless
I
I'm
think so.
mistaken.
I think so.
So just to demonstrate that we, when we're in the CLAAAW phase of this, we pick random channels. And if it is not an Indian channel, I do apologize.
Should we watch one just to see if the language?
Yeah, let's take a look. Let's see what's going on.
तो भाई 2 मिनट का हमारा टाइमर होगा जिसमें हमने जितने भी पढ़े हुए हमने खत्म करना है विद दिस खट्टा पानी
It says Hindi.
Yeah.
That's cool. So the thing what is that? You got to keep playing that for a second. Let
I
me
think
see.
that must be a movie meme.
I know, but still. See, so here's what I like about the intro. I don't know what he said, but I don't need to understand that. What's going on there? To understand that something interesting's happened. Like he's right into whatever the action is, right? He's eating or whatever, which is fine. And then he does a meme from like a movie or something right after, so it kind of hooks you. So from the perspective of like a viewer who maybe doesn't know what the channel is, at the very least, they're probably going to give them a chance after that little logo drop to see if they'll stay around. Is what I'm guessing. So not bad. The pacing was cool.
I've never used YouTube's auto translate.
Seems like it's doing a pretty good job.
Yeah. I like the style.
That is so distracting. Whatever
Yeah,
they blurred out there.
what is
That's
going
all
on
you
there?
want to know now. What is being blurred out? Anyway, let's go back to the thumbnails and the titles, Dan.
It's probably a person that didn't ask permission to film.
Maybe.
So I think there is the classic conversation of if this is a food blog, food challenges, we don't see the food enough, I would say, in many of these. Like, I think the recent thumbnail is fine, even though you can't really see the food. You can see if they're in a restaurant and they're trying something, there's a test, there's a challenge going on. But in some of the other ones, the thumbnails are a bit too complex and colorful, and like everything's in a foreground. So like every part of a thumbnail is saying, "Hey, look at me," and like, "Hey, look at me," and "Hey, look at me." Like all over the thumbnail is trying to draw your attention, which can be a bit distracting.
It doesn't help that I can't read the titles, so I don't know the pitch of each video, but I will say that I completely agree. There's too many focal points in every single thumbnail. Not every, well, a lot of the thumbnails. So like this one that's split screen, the two sides couldn't be more different from one another. And like, so we have some really small text up here. We have a lot of water and stuff, so there's a lot of negative space at the bottom. And then we have the people in the video, I guess, on the left, the bottom left, really small. There's way too many people. And I guess they're going to a beach because you can kind of see the label up here, but it's so small at that point that I don't know if anyone is going to bother to read it. So it's easy to scroll past and not even think twice about. But if you just had one person as the star of the thumbnail and then one other element that indicated where they were going, that would be a much cleaner thumbnail and it would communicate the message a bit better.
Having said that, I think there's a growing audience here. I think we established earlier on that the channel is still of a relatively small size, correct? A couple of hundred subscribers.
Yep.
We just confirmed that.
18 videos.
A couple of hundred subscribers and only 18 videos. So the fact that they're getting consistently 100 plus views on all videos, like there's no real troughs or flatline videos, that's encouraging to see.
I also like they're a vlog channel, but they seem to be focused specifically on like travel and food. There's a couple of different videos that are not, but we see a lot of vlog channels that just want to talk about very personal stuff. Like, oh, here's something that I personally went through. And the relevance to like a broader audience isn't quite there, but I think they're doing a good job of like, oh, it's me as the host of this channel, but I'm going to take you on a little adventure. We're going to go somewhere you can't access yourself, which is pretty cool. The older videos have more views. And I know that's like, well, they've been around longer, but they are about different topics too. They're not always about food. Like there's the zoo one that kind of caught my eye.
Yeah. And that one didn't suffer because of it.
Yeah, I mean, again, they're early in their kind of journey, and this is the opportunity to do as much kind of testing on different things as possible. Obviously, that park worked, so maybe another amusement park or whatever that is, and the food stuff seems to work, generally speaking. I think they're in a good direction. I would definitely look at making some less overwhelming thumbnails. Like some of them are like there's one that's like split into 5 almost. The one from 3 months ago, there's like 3 guys in the top, and then right below it's got a picture of something, that it's got a sliced picture of something. Like it's just a little confusing. And then the Wonderland right next to it, it's just you can't even tell what's going on there. Like imagine how much better it could have done with like a more succinct thumbnail. You know,
if you look at this Sea View Sudden Trip one, that's almost like an optical illusion because it looks like it's split into 4 parts, but it's just the beach, the horizon of a beach is just perfectly aligned with the split. The other 2 that just threw me for a second. Then
oh, weird.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
Funny.
Oh, cool.
So, it's cool to see a channel with so few videos have like such interesting success, and it can definitely point like it seems like your theme park videos and the ones where you visit different places have more views than the food challenge ones. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to stay in this lane of theme parks, but it could be something if you can double down on it a bit and keep experimenting with thumbnails, things like that. Look at other channels that go to places like this and see how they do their thumbnails, see how they title their videos, so you can kind of like follow in their footsteps a little bit, especially if those videos are successful, of course. But overall, I think we're encouraged by this channel, and just want to see the packaging improve a bit.
Yeah, you just want to kind of see where they are in like 3 months. Can they maintain this cadence? Because they're posting, 2 videos a week, it looks like? Or maybe 1 a week.
Yeah. And it seems like the personalities behind the channel are very like warm and inviting too.
Yeah.
You know, they have that like vibe to them where you're like, okay, these guys have made a vlog before, they know what they're doing. And you just kind of like, you immediately are not, thinking of clicking off. You want to know more. You want to see what's going on.
My final piece of advice here for the thumbnails is let's get rid of the subscribe button, which is on the thumbnails, and then like emphasize another element, like the versus element on the last thumbnail. That'd be far more useful and impactful than a subscribe logo on the thumbnail.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Thanks, Dan. I'm glad you did.
So 404 gaming channels. Okay, that's easy enough. All right, CLAAAW, there are 404 gaming channels. Will you please pick one?
Let's go.
All right, here we go.
Let's go, Spaghetti-O.
Ah, yes, another gaming channel. Praise the almighty subscribe button, for it has deemed number, wait for it, 333 as the lucky contestant. Wonder what it'll be, another Minecraft expert? But really, Dan, have we ever thought about hiring a dart-throwing monkey for a change? They're highly efficient, you know?
It's not a bad idea. You don't have to pay him in bananas.
Guess what kind of channel we got?
Minecraft.
Fortnite channel?
It is a Minecraft channel.
Of course. Look at that. She's amazing. That AI is something else.
Only a handful of videos. Started about a year ago. And 3 weeks ago, it looks like they had a little run there where they uploaded that week.
I'm curious, Dan, were all of those videos posted on the same date?
That's a good question. Let's see.
So we'll have to click on the description to find out the date they were published. April 10th.
April 10th. Okay. And then this one?
Yeah.
11th. So
Okay.
some of them seem to be posted on the same day.
So let's try and create a cadence for the channel. Because, yeah, maybe you should have posted 2 videos in quick succession when you return to YouTube. But now we haven't had a video for 3 weeks. Is it because you decided, oh, this isn't working, I'm going to go to vidIQ for a channel audit, and then I'm going to start again? Or do you just have life stuff that gets in the way? Maybe you did these while you're on a school holiday, and now you're back in term time. You don't have the opportunity to make these videos. So I'd say commit to consistency is always my favorite phrase, in that what I would challenge you to do is maybe make 1 video every 2 weeks. So that's 2 videos a month, and see if you can do that until, let's say, the end of July. So that should be 6 videos to push out, but not all on the same day or like within 2 days. Like a video, fortnight break, video, and if you batch record them, that's fine, but just hold back on publishing them.
Yeah. I'm going to say that you definitely need some more videos under your belt, for sure. So I want you to keep practicing. I want you to keep practicing editing and creating thumbnails. All that stuff needs to happen. Long term, you need to figure out your place in the vast, vast world that is Minecraft YouTube content creation. There are just so many people doing exactly what you're doing, unedited PvP videos and things like that. And it's going to be tough to stand out, even if you do nail the packaging and the title, the thumb, everything's perfect. You know, it's still going to be so hyper competitive. So go out and try and figure out within this space, where could you see an opportunity, like where you're both excited to make that kind of content and you're like, wow, that not a lot of people are doing this, and I think that'd be a lot of fun. And I think this channel is really yet to begin when I think of it that way. We can check out their
I think
shorts.
you were right, Dan, as well. These are maybe not non-custom thumbnails. So
yeah, they look like screenshots.
Let's just get into the habit of making a custom thumbnail that captures the potential viewer's attention as they're scrolling through a feed.
Mm-hmm. Over on your shorts,
stuff on Brawl Stars.
Yeah, over on your shorts, get some Brawl Stars stuff. Some of it's taken off, which is awesome. It seems like these videos are about a specific thing, like new Brock skin, 2 stucking Godzilla on new game mode. So like things are happening. People are sticking around and watching, which is always very encouraging to see. But if you want people to go from your shorts to your long form, which is already hard to do, seeing Minecraft here is going to be a little bit confusing for them. And they're probably not going, like, YouTube might push this to them if they watch enough of your shorts, but they're probably not going to click because it's just going to look like any old Minecraft video popping up in their feed. So I'm not saying you have to do Minecraft shorts. I'm not saying you have to do Brawl Star longs, but it does feel like if you did one of those, whichever one you're more passionate about, you might have an easier time trying to get people to watch your longer form content. But it depends on what your goals are, of course. If that's not important to you, then, you know, more power to you.
Nice little shout out here to Tattoos in Review, who said no banner, no profile picture. Long wait between videos. Like
the name is hard to find too.
all good standard stuff to fix on the channel.
Yeah.
So thanks for the input there, Tattoos in Review.
Like, if you want people to start to like, oh, I want to like, you know, build this audience and stuff, and you do start to build an audience, you want them to be able to find your channel by typing it in, but just the word Pear is like way too broad. And we have Pear Vlogs here with 821K. So they're always going to rank ahead of you for a very long time.
Maybe they should call themselves Pear the Unfindable.
Here
we've
we
had
go
success.
again.
We've had success with that channel name before. We haven't.
Yes, we have. So thank you for sharing your channel with us, and we do wish you the best. We're going to do our last super chats before we get to the next channel, just so we get through these. No more super chats, no more money, please. We can't. We can no longer read super chats after this. Thank you for the advice, by the way. Now at 600 subs and 3,100 hours of watch time. Congrats, Jeep Psychology. That's awesome. Thank you.
Nice work.
Take that, chest beating Neanderthals. Think Media says apologies. Was driving. If full typing, I know irresponsible. Don't. What? I think they had a more jumbled message earlier. We tried to read it. Don't
Stop it. Get some help.
Yeah, don't do that, please. My goodness. Mischief Lab says, how do short lives affect your shorts algorithm? Short live streams?
Well, maybe we mean vertical live streams that appear on Shorts Player.
Yeah, confusingly.
Yeah.
How, I don't know. I don't think it had any like impact. It was just interesting to see the numbers we got when we tried it.
When we did it, we only did like one or two live streams. There was no noticeable increase or decrease in numbers, as is often the case with us. Like we'll do these tests, and once we finish them, it's like, yeah, it made no difference.
Yeah, it seemed like a good way to get some subscribers. I outside of well, at vidIQ and outside of vidIQ, I've stopped doing them. It's, you know, I've seen them pop up in the shorts feed. It seems like some people are very comfortable making those. I think it's just like anything, you make those because, hey, this is a platform that actually works for me in the way I create content. Just because it's there doesn't mean you have to use it.
You get more views because there's a lot more viewers cycling into the content, but they're also cycling out much quicker, so the average view duration is shorter.
Right. So those were our super chats. Thank you all for your super chats and your support. Appreciate you. We will pick another channel. We have the non-gaming forum with 584 responses. There are 584 channels waiting to be picked from the non-gaming forum. Will you please choose one, CLAAAW? All right. And then we wait. But not very long. Don't worry. This is easy.
Gonna make this silence as awkward as possible.
Dan, I live for these moments. Let us bask in the glory of the almighty YouTube subscribe button as we unveil the lucky channel, number 512. Truly thrilling. By the way, have you considered hiring a bingo tumbler? They seem more suited for this kind of suspense.
No, I like AI Claw.
I was going to say, I think we should search for a random bingo tumbler. I'm going to do that now and see if there is one. I think it's time to get rid of Claudia.
So if, by the way, if the claw went away for a faster solution, how disappointed would everyone be? I'm just asking for literally no reason at all.
I think the problem with a bingo tumbler is it doesn't go above 100.
Oh. Powerhouse of Positivity was the channel that was selected.
All right.
They have 12,500 subscribers. It says a reality TV pundit.
Pundit,
sorry.
I mean, smart person who knows about things.
Okay, so let's establish where the 12,000 subscribers have come from first. I suspect it's shorts that have gone viral, but we'll see. I'm incorrect. Okay, do they call themselves a longs or a shorts channel as well?
Long.
Okay. Just remind us of how many subscribers Ford have there. Right,
Yeah,
and then go
to
back to the... Got 2.4 million. Go to latest. So I look at the kind of videos they have, and there's viral videos, there's a tutorial on how to change your background. Then there looks to be I guess like a scam video about a fake pastor. So this channel seems to be all over the topic and niches. So I think, put simply, I don't know what this channel is. I don't know what their target audience and their value proposition is. Who should be watching and why is the two fundamental questions I would ask this creator.
And yeah, it's just not clear video what we're going to get. Like fake backgrounds with using AI versus like talking about a fake pastor, heartwarming message. Like there's so many different things going on. It kind of feels like a channel where we could tell them, like, you know, rewind the live stream. We've been talking about channel focus a lot today, and it feels like that's the advice I want to give right now.
Yeah, because it's very random. I guess the interesting part of it is a lot of it is shocking. So that's almost like a thread through, some of it. There's definitely a lot of shocking videos, so maybe that's what they're trying to connect with, but hard to say. Although it says reality TV, but is this all from reality TV stuff, or is this just like they're finding clips online? Or
yeah, I'm not sure, because when Dan's been mousing over some of the thumbnails, it looks like I'm seeing just footage from television, and then others where it looks like a talking head, like the creator is talking directly to the camera. So I don't know if it's like a reaction channel or not.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I feel like you've properly stumped us.
The creator is, I guess, talking about all of their interests, whatever they are.
Yeah.
And typically, viewers come to different creators to satisfy a particular interest. Like I'll go to a certain channel to watch WWE wrestling, but I won't go to the same channel to watch iPhone reviews. I will watch a certain channel about the history of the London Underground, just because that creator is very skilled at that particular topic and they're very knowledgeable about it. But I wouldn't watch a game review on their channel. And it feels like this channel is trying to satisfy all interests to all audiences. That's a channel focused problem.
Yep.
So let's go back to the very, very beginning and ask the creator, what is your biggest interest and passion? How does that resonate with an audience, and what are their pain points? And for the next 50 to 100 videos, focus on that subject.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. All right. Well, that basically brings us to the top of the hour.
Top of the hour.
So I just want to remind everyone who's in chat at the public Discord, which is vidiq.com/Discord. Tomorrow I'll be doing an Ask Me Anything. We'll also be going over some different things. So it's free. You can just go to Discord and I'll answer questions if you have YouTube related questions and stuff, and we'll have a good time.
There you go. So vidiq.com/Discord. Of course, if you want to see some more of our tools in depth and try them for free, app.vidiq.com. Make sure to authenticate your channel so you get the full experience and link to your channel and actually give you. Why are you making faces?
I don't know why does playing that music make you sound awful, Dan? I do
like he's underwater or something. What's up with that?
That's really weird.
That's not me.
Yeah, I know. StreamYard.
Do we sound like it? But he sounds fine. Do I sound fine
now?
Well, I stopped talking.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, then it fixed it.
It's almost as if you're talking and then you add like a music, it kind of muffles it for a second.
I don't like the music tool in this app. Like I always have trouble with this.
Yeah.
Anyway, our tools link down below, etc., etc. Are there any final words from either of you? Garbled
Keep creating.
words, please.
We'll see you next week.